Hello, class, and welcome to Geography 1A, an online physical geography course offered through Shasta College. I am your instructor, Dr. Cassandra Hansen, and I've provided my email contact information below, which is chansen@shastacollege.edu. So every week, I will be providing online lectures in 15-minute blocks. These lectures will cover topics that are from your textbook, and course material will be provided to you in the form of lecture notes and lecture material. So by the end of this lecture today, you will have an understanding of the big picture of physical geography. You will have an idea of the four spheres that make up physical geography. And by the end of the week, you will be able to define physical geography. Before I get started, I would like to properly introduce myself to you. So as I said, my name is Cassandra Hansen, and sometimes go as Cassie. I have spent quite a bit of time performing projects and research in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, on the top of a mountain peak called Mount Warner. This picture is me standing in front of the laboratory, which is owned by the Desert Research Institute. And here we sampled particulate matter in the upper atmosphere, and we were able to conduct experiments looking at how the snowpack relates to temperature changes. I have spent quite a bit of time throughout my life traveling, and I encourage students after taking a geography class to spend some time traveling, take advantage of summers, take jobs, places that will remove you from a comfort zone and provide new experience. So some photos that I've selected above to share with you. The upper left-hand photo is from Portugal. The upper right is from Sweden. I spent quite a bit of time in Norway and Sweden. The bottom left is from Japan, and the bottom right is from France. Traveling is the best way to experience other cultures and to meet people that you would not normally meet. So as I said, I spent quite a bit of time in the outback, the environment, hiking, biking, swimming, skiing. And it was at this point in time that I realized that, I wanted to focus on geography as an undergraduate at Humboldt State. I always had this strong passion for mountains, strong passion for weather and snow. And so that's what I tended to focus my master's and doctorate degree on. While at Humboldt State, I took advantage of the summer to get jobs in different locations. So my first job with the National Park Service was at Devil's Postpile National Monument as an EMT ranger. Here, this was a great example of geology and being able to take tourists on guided tours to the Devil's Postpile features, which we can see here on this picture. And what are the postpiles? Well, they are columns, columnar basalt. Basalt is a type of igneous rock. And they form because the lava starts to cool from the top and the bottom at the same time. And they form these hexagonal columns. And you can see in the upper right-hand corner of the photo, these hexagonal columns almost look like kitchen tiles. And they are all flat and grooved from a glacier that came over after the columns cooled. So summer jobs are a great opportunity to gain experience as well as see new location. I also spent time working up in Alaska. I was a member of the cadastral surveying team, part of the extension of the BLM, the Bureau of Land Management. Here we surveyed land that had never been surveyed before, and we were putting monuments in the ground and spending a lot of time with GPS units and spending a lot of time of documenting field information. What was the type of soil that we saw, what type of vegetation we were seeing, and different sizes of trees. So a lot of measurements and a lot of recording and field work took place here. As an undergraduate at Humboldt State, again, I found myself always drawn to focusing class projects on mountains and glaciers and snow. And so my final project for an advanced geographic information systems class was looking at the Taku Glacier. The Taku Glacier was unique in the fact that it was actually expanding linear. So it was advancing forward, while all the other glaciers surrounding it was receding, so moving backwards. We were taking data from research groups that were going out there different years and walking the toe, the bottom part of the glacier, and taking measurements. So the first measurement is the red line that we see on the screen there from 1929. The second is from 1937, so on and so forth. So this was just a class project that we looked at. Another project that I spent quite a bit of time on, roughly 600 hours, was creating a map of the trails of the Mount Shasta region. This was a cartography project that actually ended up winning a National Geographic Award. So I went ahead, after I graduated from Humboldt State, I realized that there was so much more to physical geography, and I wanted to go ahead and expand my knowledge more so. So I attended the University of Nevada, Reno, the geography department there, working with the state climatologist to complete my master's degree. There I focused on synoptic scale weather patterns and the relationship between size 5 slab avalanches on Mount Shasta. Now, synoptic means kind of a large scale. So patterns of weather that would take place over the Pacific Ocean. And so lots of great patterns that I was able to identify, which sparked an interest in synoptic weather patterns. I also spent some time, like I said early on, focusing at research up in Steamboat Springs, Colorado. So there I looked at how winter weather patterns influenced diurnal temperature gradients. So it influenced the temperature fluctuation on a day-to-day basis within the snowpack. This was actually a really fun project. I felt a little bit like MacGyver here, where I had to put together my own instruments. You can see the use of duct tape in the lower right-hand corner. You had a solar panel that fed the thermocouples. Thermocouples are like little thermometer probes that were within the snowpack. And there I was able to continue to collect snowpack data. And one of the great things is I had to ski to this site every single day to make sure that it was collecting information. When there was a big snowstorm, I had to clear off the solar panel. And it was a wonderful learning experience. So at UNR, the University of Nevada, Reno, after finishing my master's degree, I wanted to then focus on a doctoral degree. There, I focused on identifiable atmospheric changes between snowstorms, a historic snowstorm of 1959, and comparing it to more contemporary storms from 2010. So there, I really became passionate about atmospheric rivers, which on this next slide, the atmospheric river is highlighted in the box on your screen. And these are plumes of moisture that come out of the tropics. So we can see that it's coming from Hawaii all the way up to Northern California. Oftentimes, atmospheric rivers were identified as a Pineapple Express. Well, with better technology and observations, we were able to define really what a Pineapple Express is and identify different features such as the atmospheric river. Another map of the atmospheric river identifies, so here's Washington, coast of Oregon, the coast of California. And we can see areas of high moisture content, which is identified in the purple color here. And we see this very narrow channel of moisture that's coming up from the tropics. Now, I understand that these maps seem very complicated. And by the end of this class, you will spend some time looking at these maps, looking at what these numbers mean here, the latitude and the longitude, identifying what these squiggly black lines are here. And so that's something to look forward to in this class, is being able to be a true map reader of physical features in the environment, being able to, be an investigator and a detective regarding physical geography.